You are Locked On 76ers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is Locked On Sixers Postcast and Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. First and foremost, thanks everyone one more time for following me throughout the Phillies season. Looking forward to having fun with you guys throughout the 76ers season. Tonight excluded, because tonight wasn't fun, and we kind of knew going into it wasn't going to be fun. We had one kind of prayer going for us, and that was Tyrese Maxey going off, and he didn't go off. He went off as far as shooting. Like, he shot a lot tonight, like an insane amount by Tyrese Maxey standards, even without Joel Embiid in the lineup. Good Lord, that was a lot. So we'll get into that conversation tonight. Of course, we'll give you our three big things as per usual, and I'll be with you throughout the 76ers season right here on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. And hey, your favorite podcast now as a newsletter. That's right, introducing Locked On 76ers daily newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with the all-new free Locked On 76ers newsletter. This particular episode of Locked On 76ers Postcast is brought to you by your Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Locked On NBA. Old habits die hard. Use promo code on the Game Time app, Locked On NBA, for $20 off your first purchase. Let's start it off. Now, I've done this before, and I always do three big things, right? But we're going to have three big things, and then we're going to have a champion. We're going to save the champion to the second segment. That's what we're going to do. The champion is Joel Embiid, and this story, well, first off, the story the 76ers are giving us about how this is all about, it's part of the plan, baby. It was part of the plan. Part of the plan to have him go play in the Olympics, be healthy in the Olympics, and then just totally blow off, not the first game of the season, not just first two games of the season, first three games of the season, not happening for Joel Embiid. It's part of the plan. Everyone relax. I'm going to pump the brakes right there. I'm not going to go off on a tangent with Joel Embiid just yet, We're going to talk about the game, all right? Here's three big things on the game itself, and I'll start at the bottom and go to the top. Number three, I'm thrilled, and I know he got in foul trouble, but Andre Drummond is number 3 on my list for first, watching him tonight go out there and with about early in the third quarter, he had 8 points, 10 rebounds. Like, already was a bucket away from a double-double. Now, that's not amazing by any means, but considering what we've been dealing with since Andre Drummond left Philadelphia, since he was traded away in the Ben Simmons deal, the 76ers have not had even a decent backup center. And tonight he gives the Sixers 25 minutes, starts the game for them. Now, keep in mind, last year for the Chicago Bulls, he only averaged 17 minutes a game, gave you 25 minutes tonight. Hopefully he can do that for at least the rest of the week before, Joel Embiid has been ramped up enough to the point of playing. But it just felt so damn good to see Andre Drummond go out there. He finished the night 10 points, 13 rebounds, 5 fouls in 25 minutes. Was Johnny on the spot for a couple of putbacks? Had a couple of opportunities for an N1, didn't get it, unfortunately. Had an opportunity for an alley-oop, was able to convert on that from Kelly Oubre, I think it was. That, to me, is exactly what he's going to bring to the table. And when Joel Embiid comes back, whenever that is and for however long it will be, I feel pretty confident that Andre Drummond I didn't need tonight to know this, but it just solidifies the point even further that you really missed having a backup center. So if he could give you those 15 to 20 minutes a night like he did in Chicago with Embiid being healthy, I think the Sixers are going to be in really good hands. And then you can obviously fast forward to the playoffs and think to yourself, hey, are the Sixers going to be minus 78 when Joel Embiid's not on the floor like they were last year? No, because Andre Drummond's here, then okay, we'll be in good hands, and I'm fine with that. So I like seeing that from Andre Drummond. Kelly Oubre, I really wanted to see the Sixers bring back last year. I thought he gave you a spark when you really needed a spark, either off the bench or in the starting lineup. Whether it was a 32-point game against Toronto last year or it was 8 well-placed points against the San Antonio Spurs when you were really struggling. Nobody. Tyrese Maxey went ice cold in that game against the Spurs last year. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Kelly Oubre had no points, rattled off like 8 in a row. Well-placed points by Kelly Oubre. Certainly a spark. Tonight, he got you 21 points, played 30 minutes on 8 of 18 shooting. Also was able to go out there and be a little bit of a spark. Not that it was going to be saving the game worthy by any means, but at least it helped you stay in the game. And the moment I'm talking about here is before the biggest moment of the game for me came in the second quarter. Late in the second quarter. But right before that, Kelly Oubre made a driving layup, made it a 2-point game, was able to help out also on a floater to Tyrese Maxey. That was good to see. But with about 8 minutes left in the second quarter, Kelly Oubre made a driving layup, made it a 2-point game, 39-37. He was doing what he could to try to keep the Eagles, the Sixers in that game. Had another play earlier in that same quarter with about 9:39 left in the game, tied things up at 27 with another driving layup. That's the type of thing you want to see from Kelly Oubre. Started off the second quarter by getting points in the paint to help the Sixers keep pace with the Milwaukee Bucks. That's who Kelly Oubre is. With or without Joel Embiid, with or without Tyrese Maxey being hot, with or without Paul George being in your lineup, that's the type of effort, consistency, and feel for the game that Kelly Oubre certainly brings to the table. So love that he's back, obviously, for another season with the Sixers, but also showed exactly who he was in that second quarter. Love to see that from him. That brings me to number one. Number one. Again, the ranked champion is the Joel Embiid story that we'll get to coming up in a minute. But number one is Tyrese Maxey. Before the game tonight, I put it out there. I didn't expect the Sixers to win. Get me 35 points tonight, Tyrese Maxey. Go out there and give me 35 points. I thought if he got 35 points, he'd be somewhere around the range of 25 shots. His average last year was about 20 shots per game. Without Joel Embiid, that went up to about 21 shots per game. This is a horrible shooting night for Tyrese Maxey. Now, if you noticed, I changed, I edited something in the comments, or excuse me, something in the title. I originally had Tyrese Maxey struggled. I don't feel like that really kept. Now, did he struggle? He absolutely struggled. I feel like it was unfair to headline it, struggled. He was abandoned. So I changed it to battles. He battled tonight, despite not having, we talk about this all the time in baseball, certainly referenced it up during the Phillies season, but, didn't have his best stuff, but he battled. Tyrese Maxey, unfortunately, didn't have his best team around him, didn't have his best shooting night by far. Actually, statistically, it's one of his worst shooting nights ever. And if the Sixers were ever going to have the least bit of a prayer to win this basketball game tonight, they needed Tyrese Maxey to go off. And if Tyrese Maxey was going to go out there and shoot 10 for 31 from the floor, then you needed him to do what he usually does if he gets 30 shots in a game, which is net 50. That's throughout his career. If he's getting you 30 shots in a game, he's getting you, I think the smallest amount with 30 shots he's ever gotten is 39. So maybe have a 39-point performance for Tyrese Maxey. It was the only prayer you had of even competing in this game tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. It was a rough game from start to finish for the Sixers. Did they hang in there? Obviously, in the first quarter, they did. Fairly low scoring in the first quarter, considering the two teams that were playing tonight, especially when you think about the Bucks. Damian Lillard had an off. He was off in the first quarter. I almost said off night. Off in the first quarter before he righted the ship, and then he was incredible after that. But watching this Sixers team battle in the first quarter gave me a little bit of hope. Tyrese Maxey started and ended the scoring for the Sixers in that opening quarter, opened things up with a nice three from the top of the key, and then closed it off with a nice driving layup. Second quarter, couldn't really get much going. Third quarter, started to get something going. Fourth quarter, started to hit a couple of more of his shots. But really, I wasn't expecting Kelly Oubre to go out there and lead the team. I wasn't expecting Andre Drummond to go out there and lead the team. It came down to one person. Of the big three, the one guy that was healthy enough to actually start the season on time and the home opener, I can almost, no, I want to get into the Embiid stuff now. But watching Tyrese Maxey go out there tonight and still battle, still do his thing, despite the struggles, that's ultimately what you need from a leader. And looking at his stat line tonight, I mentioned the 10 for 31, 2 of 9 from beyond the arc, minus 13. That's going to happen, unfortunately, in a game like tonight. 25 points overall, 6 rebounds is what he was able to pull down, and 3 assists. Certainly not his best night. And he had to be damn near perfect if he was going to expect the 76ers to come out with a win tonight with no Paul George and no Joel Embiid. When we come back, I got comments pregame from Daryl Morey. I want to talk about Nick Nurse has just been put in front of the firing squad, unfortunately. Poor guy. And he's being left to answer for the 76ers MVP that unfortunately does not look like he is going to be even sniffing 65 games to qualify for the MVP award. Not even sniffing it. We'll get to that in a second. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Locked On 76ers Postcast. FanDuel. Hey, fans. NFL fans, you like FanDuel? You could get in on all the action with FanDuel. Take advantage of all they have to offer. You could start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats. You can view live play-by-play and so much more on the same page you're placing your bets with FanDuel. Check out FanDuel.com. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place just a $5 bet. How about that? And right now in the NBA on FanDuel, the Boston Celtics are leading the pack at plus 310 to win the NBA championship. Oklahoma City Thunder plus 650. New York Knicks plus 750. Your Philadelphia 76ers at plus 1,000. Minnesota Timberwolves are also a plus 1,000. Denver Nuggets plus 1,100. How about MVP odds? Spoiler, Joel Embiid not even listed. Luka Doncic leading the pack at plus 330. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is great there at plus 380. Nikola Jokic at plus 430 to start the season. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is at plus 850, as is Anthony Edwards, the Ant-Man himself. Jason Tatum at plus 900. Those are the odds right now on the NBA's MVP this season, courtesy of FanDuel. So check out FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Joel Embiid. He goes and he plays in the Olympics. Comes back from the Olympics. It looks like he's lost a lot of weight. Good for Joel Embiid. He obviously ended the season last year dealing with a knee injury. I gave him every ounce of credit. Oh, baby, last year, every ounce of credit. Battled through the postseason to help his team even get to 6 games against the New York Knicks. Battled. He gave you all he got. Yeah, he gave you all he had. Olympics, comes back, getting ready for the season. Doesn't play in the preseason, not surprised. Paul George gets hurt in the preseason. He misses the season opener tonight against the Bucks. Not surprised. At least I know that he got hurt in the preseason. Hyperextension, bone bruise. Tyrese Maxey hurt his thumb, got a little boo-boo. He's out. He's playing. He's battling. Okay, right. Okay. Joel Embiid. We always know it. We know it's something every year. But this is new. This is like beginning stage. This is like the beginning of Joel Embiid's career. That's what this is like now. We're not sure if he's even going to start the season. When is he going to start the season? Is he hurt? No, he's not hurt. Nick Nurse. I'll talk about him first. Nick Nurse goes in front of the media during the 76ers practice 2 days ago. And he's asked about Joel Embiid and his status. Oh, we're ramping him up to get ready for the season. And is this a setback? No, this is not a setback. It's not a setback. This is just getting him ready for the season. Okay, so if it's not a setback and he's not injured, is this just part of the plan? Like, what are we to believe here? That's what people are having trouble understanding. Nick Nurse then says, I don't know what to tell you. He is getting himself ready for the season. The season, everyone knew when the season was starting, right? Yes, everyone knew. I don't know what to say to that either, but we knew that the season was starting October 23rd, and I don't have any other answer for you. So he's just not playing because there's a plan? Oh, yeah, there's a plan. Well, what's the plan? Well, he's probably going to miss the opener in the next 2 games. I'm sorry, how many games? He's probably going to miss the 2 games. How many games is he going to miss again? He's going to miss the first week. He's not even playing. He's not even playing the first week of the season. Cool. 3-2-1, NBA launches investigation. NBA thinking about launching an investigation to see why Joel Embiid is not playing. It's crazy. I thought Joel Embiid would be so motivated to play in, that really critical in-season tournament that the NBA put out there to, incentivize players to play. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. It's stupid. Let's just call it what it is. It's dumb. So Joel Embiid, not playing. Joel Embiid, out. Here's where I'm at. He's either hurt more than they're willing to admit at this point, and they're crossing their fingers, or they are just going back into load management mode heavily. And I'm going to tell you what I hate. I hate Joel Embiid not playing in basketball games, but I'm going to tell you what I hate more. The fact that this is exactly what needs to happen. Joel Embiid not playing in basketball games is exactly what the Sixers have to do. I can remember the tail end of Allen Iverson's career in Philadelphia and thinking about, wow, they need to cut his minutes. You need to save him. You need to do whatever you can to make sure that he can play at a high level for as long as humanly possible. And nope, didn't happen. 48 minutes, 48 minutes, 48 minutes, 48 minutes. Always. Joel Embiid is not the warrior and has not been the warrior that Allen Iverson is. So let's just get that out of the way before people jump down my throat with that comparison. But when it comes to Joel Embiid, this is where we're at, folks. If you want a plus 30-year-old Joel Embiid healthy enough for the postseason, he's barely going to get to 60 games. Barely going to get to 60 games, if he gets to it at all. And I hate the fact that I have to be fine with this because I know this is exactly what it's going to take. Now, I still don't have confidence that Joel Embiid, even let's say playing 60 games, playing 55 games, is going to be ready for the playoffs. Is going to be healthy enough to play in the playoffs. Every year, no matter what, it's always something by playoff. By the time the playoffs roll around, Joel Embiid's got something nagging or some freak accident happens where Markelle Fultz's shoulder rams into his face and breaks his face and he's Phantom of the Opera. Or he's got the hashtag NBA poops where he's got the gastroenteritis like he did against the Toronto Raptors. Whether he's got a jammed finger, a broken hand, a concussion, torn meniscus. 2 of those, actually. No matter what it is, it's always something in the postseason. Literally, from ranging of concussions to gastroenteritis. Good Lord, man. So even if he only plays 55 games this year, that's first off, that's going to suck for every Sixers fan who actually wants to watch him play basketball and wants to enjoy an 82-game season. Well, nope. Sorry. Hopefully Paul George and Tyrese Maxey are good enough with this squad that's surrounding them that, fought and battled tonight as well. Hopefully they're going to be good enough to at least get into, a top 4 seed? Avoid the play-in tournament? Hopefully they don't have to do that again. Cross your fingers. Because right now it's looking like maybe 55 games. Sniffing 60, but definitely not 65. Let's not get crazy. I hate that this is the situation that the 76ers have to be in right now. Because it's, despite the fact that I still don't think it's going to work, it gives them their best chance to keep Joel Embiid as fresh as possible for a postseason. I mentioned before that I had some comments from Daryl Morey. He talked to NBC Sports Philadelphia before the game. And let me know in the comments, obviously, too, if you think Joel Embiid is going to even sniff 60 games this year. He said he's excited to see how Joel Embiid has looked in practice. He hasn't practiced full squad yet. He's ramping up for that, so he's not even at that point yet, which is horrible. Looking forward to see Paul George and him on the floor sooner rather than later, so whatever that is. And he wants Joel Embiid to, for the first time, and this is Joel Embiid telling Daryl Morey, and then Daryl Morey telling this story to NBC Sports Philadelphia. He wants to feel like he's full bore going into the playoffs because he's never felt like that. The 76ers put us in a really tough spot because I don't want to look at 82 games of the regular season where I think of it as, this Sixers team, it's just preseason ramping up to the postseason. But that's kind of where we're at, unfortunately. And this Sixers team trying to make it out of the second round of the playoffs, that's no longer the high water mark for the Sixers team. Winning a championship. If Joel Embiid was 25 years old, yeah, we could still talk about, can they make it out of the second round? But that is so far in the past now. It's NBA Finals or bust. It's NBA championship or bust. Because if Joel Embiid can't make it through this year healthy when he's going to be barely playing basketball, then next year he's going to be better. Paul George will be less injury prone. Tyrese Maxey is really our only hope if you're talking about long-term success, building around a player. He's that guy. Tonight he wasn't that guy, unfortunately. Off-night shooting, big time. But things aren't looking great for the 76ers right now, and that's extremely unfortunate because there's been a lot of angst. What was the word Doris Burke kept using tonight during the day? Agita? I think she said agita more than Tony Soprano. But yeah, it was a rough night. But as far as Joel Embiid goes, my bottom line on it is that it sucks the most that this is why this is what the Sixers have to do. The Sixers are in a place right now where they have to be as timid, as scared, as worrisome as possible about Joel Embiid's health, because their only chance to offset the trend of, yes, making it out of the second round, winning the Eastern Conference final, and then getting to the finals is having him healthy enough to perform at a MVP level at the end of the season. Not win an MVP. I don't care about that anymore. But play at that MVP level in the postseason. I'm really hoping that Paul George and Tyrese Maxey are enough fun to watch through an 82-game season. Well, now 81, whenever you get Paul George back. I'm hoping that they're good enough and fun enough to watch to keep us entertained while we're waiting for Joel Embiid to get healthy and play a consistent amount of games. When we come back, we'll talk about one more thing from this game tonight in particular that I did love to see. We'll get into that in a second. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia, Locked On 76ers Postcast, and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Back in a second. Game Time app. You guys should know all about the Game Time app. Game Time app is the authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball. You want to go to a college football game? Game Time app has you covered. Want to check out NBA games? Game Time app has you covered. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices. View your seat before you buy it. And how about this? The lowest price guaranteed on the Game Time app. So download the Game Time app to your phone. Create an account. Use promo code LOCKEDONNBA. That's Locked On NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Use the redemption code LOCKEDONNBA. That's LOCKEDON NBA for $20 off your first purchase. They have flash ticket deals, zone ticket deals, all in pricing. You toggle this feature. You know exactly what you're spending before you check out with that all-in pricing feature. They also have the new Game Time Picks feature, which allows you to filter out all the fluff. So you just see the best prices on the best seats right there on the Game Time Picks feature on the Game Time app. So once again, download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONNBA. That's LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Also, concerts, comedy shows, all that great stuff right there on the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Oh, what time is it? Game time. Yes, I didn't forget about you. Didn't forget about you. We're going to get into our chat check coming up in a second, but one more honorable mention. So Joel Embiid's story is obviously the biggest thing. Talk to you about Kelly Oubre going out there doing his thing. Andre Drummond, great to see him back out there. And then Tyrese Maxey doing what he could in a rough night. One of the worst shooting nights of his career. Let's shake off the dust a little bit, okay? Shake off the dust. Last thing. Jared McCain went out there tonight, and hey, look, all I ask of rookies in any sport, all I ask is that you go out there and you look like you belong. Did it in the preseason, did it in Summer League. The guy got 4 minutes in a blowout loss to get on the court in the fourth quarter, and all he did was score 4 points in 4 minutes. I'll take it. I will certainly take it. Misses only 3-pointer, though, so that is unfortunate. But everything else, he went out there, and you know what? He showed me something. So good for him making his NBA debut, made his first shot, got a nice follow-up as well. I'll take it each time. Let's get into our chat check. Nicholas, this team stinks. Thank you, Nicholas. I concur. WMP, 3 people watching, bro. Yep, it's our first show of the season, and the game sucked. But thanks for chiming in. Much appreciated. Jimmy J, Oubre can't shoot. Yeah, it was slim pickings today, and you have a Celtics avatar. So thanks for chiming in. Yeah, Oubre wasn't great by any means. 8 of 18 is not great. But here's the thing. 21 points on 18 shots. That's not great either. You know what also isn't great? 25 shots for Tyrese Maxey on 25 points for Tyrese Maxey on 31 shots. That too is not great. And I have one request for the NBA. I have one request for the National Basketball Association. If Joel Embiid really is only going to play in 60 games, here's an idea. How about Tyrese Maxey actually gets calls? Because I don't want to go through this for another year. And I really hope Nick Nurse, who has certainly built up a reputation for complaining to referees, certainly did enough when he was with Toronto, arguing against the Sixers and all that, but certainly has the ear of referees. I hope Nick Nurse was saying, not another year of this, fellas, because there was one blatantly. Look, the Sixers didn't lose the game because Tyrese Maxey didn't get foul calls, but it didn't help, obviously. And if we're going to go through so many games where we're only watching so many games with 40 games without Joel Embiid, if we're going to see that, 30 games without Joel Embiid, if we're going to see that, I kind of need to know Tyrese Maxey is going to get his calls. He's an all-star player. He should be getting all-star calls. And I'm not even saying give him, be generous. Just, he got fouled. You should call it. Giannis Antetokounmpo in the later goings of that second quarter, maybe it was the early goings of the third quarter, Tyrese Maxey slashing through the lane. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes up there, hip checks him in the air, no call. Should have been an N1. It was a 15-point game at that point. There was one point where Mike Breen during the game said, and Sixers have to be careful. This game might be getting out of hand. Sixers were down 18 points already. They weren't doing anything. I mentioned earlier there was a point in the game where I kind of knew the Sixers were going to lose this one. And yes, I never thought they would win it. But I'm like, maybe they got something here after the first quarter. Hoping on hope. They put together a 6-0 run midway through the second quarter, expanded it to a 12-4 run over a 2-minute span in the middle portion of that second quarter, went up 45-37. Then you blink, it's 51-42. Then it's 54 after another Lillard 3, and he figured things out in there in the second quarter, 54-42. And that was the run. Lowry tried to keep him in it by hitting a 3 in the midst of all that, but nope, wasn't getting it done, unfortunately. Wasn't getting it done. In the future, we'll see how Paul George fares for the Sixers team in the not too distant future. Sixers, after their home opener here, after their season opener and home opener, are back at it Friday night. They're on the road for the next 2 games. They face the Toronto Raptors at 7 o'clock on Friday, then Sunday, 3:30. They got the Indiana Pacers. No Sixers postcast on that one. We got Eagles coverage that day. Jason Martinez and Harry Mays will have the coverage for you guys on Eagles game day that Sunday. And then Wednesday, a week from tonight, they're back at it at 7 o'clock against who else but the return of Tobias Harris, who somebody tweeted me absolutely was going off in the early goings of that game tonight for the Detroit Pistons. I want to give you his total in 1 second here. 13 points, 6 of 13 shooting. He hit 1-3. Yeah, 6 of 13. Okay, but he had a good start. All right, that's about right. That sounds like a Tobias Harris line. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great. Make sure you hit like and subscribe at the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. That's Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Also hit that notifications button so you know right when we start after each 76ers game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. For all people on the podcast, appreciate you. And catch you guys Friday night after the Sixers hopefully handle their business on the road in Toronto. We're all having fun. That's what we're doing with this Sixers squad. We're all having fun. Keep your fingers crossed. See you guys Friday. Take it easy. Bye.